Please welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Benita Stranda. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you'll be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of ours, you guys are the real MVP. So guys, I came across this video right for you, and I thought to share with you guys where so many is crashing out, crying, having emotional breakdown, meltdown, and all of what you actually have to think. This is as a result of federal, workers losing their jobs. Over 200. This got people reacting to the fact that, oh, this is actually what you guys actually wanted. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright, lovelies, let's dive into it.
Hello. I was a federal worker who had 1 month left of her probationary period, and today I was told that I will be terminated at some point this week. I'm utterly devastated. I'm confused because my recent performance evaluation was exceptional and I got upwards of $1,500 as a bonus because my performance was so good. And this was my dream job, and it's just being taken away by an administration who doesn't care about science. It doesn't care about people who might be homeless with their dog now. They don't care about our species that we're trying to conserve. That's exactly what my job was doing. It was just to assess habitat conservation for species for a 55-year habitat conservation plan. We should all be so mad right now. We should all be crying like this because I'm just devastated. I lost my job on Thursday night along with 200,000 other people. Despite what most people think, we're not all just lazy government employees. I worked really, really hard. I've been there 8 years. My managers had no idea until I did that I was terminated. They fell to their knees and cried along right with me. I took an oath of office to fight for this administration. And although I don't agree what's happening or what's going on, please, I don't want to hear the negative stuff. I don't want to hear it. We're going through it right now.
All I have to say to you is that felt good. I'm gonna need my mutual Francesca to do her leopard song because this is exactly what we've been talking about. This is what we've been trying to tell you. You guys are gonna be affected along the rest of us. I don't want to hear anything negative. I'm already going through so much. Oh, it's really sad. It's really sad, isn't it, when you're going through it? Other people losing their rights wasn't making you sad, but you losing your job, now you need peace and you need your friends, you need people to gather around for you. If I see any of you donating a single cent, also, where's the tears? I want to be entertained by your suffering. I am simply living for spite at the moment. I need to see tears. I need to see sobbing. I want to see snot coming out of your nose. I ain't seen none of that. So you better make it a little more dramatic for me, for my entertainment. I have no empathy for you. I have no sympathy for you. And yeah, keep these videos coming. Please, please. It's the only light in this darkness.
Major shakeup as the Trump administration initiates mass layoffs across federal agencies. Thousands of government workers are losing their jobs as part of a sweeping workforce reduction. The cuts primarily target probationary employees, those in their first 2 years of service. Key agencies like the CDC, Veteran Affairs, and Department of Energy are affected, raising concerns about public health, defense, and national security. This move comes without congressional approval, sparking legal challenges. Over 60 lawsuits allege executive overreach. The administration aims to shrink the federal workforce by up to 10%, claiming it will be streamlining government operations. But critics worry that the loss of expertise and potential impacts on critical services. Imagine calling the VA for help, only to find reduced staff and longer wait times. Or picture researchers at the CDC scrambling to respond to a new health alert with depleted team. As this story unfolds, stay tuned for updates on how these changes might affect you and your community.
Over 200,000 federal employees, we've heard, are expected to be fired during so-called probation. But guess what? Some of those terminations we're seeing might be illegal because the people were not actually still serving a probationary period. And if this is you, you need to know your rights. Hi, my name is Sean Southworth. I'm a federal employment attorney, and I'm seeing some big mistakes the agency made when they rushed to label people as probationary and fire them. Here are some red flags that could mean they got it wrong in your case. You have prior federal service, maybe with another agency or the Postal Service, and no break in service. If you've been on the rolls 1 full year, you might already have MSPB appeal rights. They extended your probation just because you took leave or had short gaps. That can be illegal if done incorrectly. You're a veteran with preference in an accepted service role and you've been around for a year. Agencies often mislabel you as probationary when you actually have full rights. You got zero notice or chance to respond to removal, even though you had more than a year of continuous federal service and you're not in the accepted service. That can violate your constitutional due process. Look, if any of this sounds familiar, you might not be stuck in probationary limbo and you could have real appeal rights. And if they took away your paycheck, your position without the proper process, you could fight back and likely get your job back. Want to learn more? Well, click the link in my bio to schedule a consultation. If one of these situations applies to you, let's check to see if they messed up your probationary termination. And if so, we can help you figure out the next steps. We're here, to provide information to people and help people protect their rights. Don't assume you have no options. Although probationary period employees don't have a lot of them, there are some protections there, especially if you think you were not actually serving a probationary period at the time they terminated you for serving a probationary period. If any of this sounds, like it could apply to you, I'd encourage you to contact us or an attorney to speak with them. Additionally, thank you everybody for all of your support. If your information is staying updated on these, please subscribe to our newsletter. It's the first link in the link tree, which will not only give you a free guide of the 5 common mistakes I see federal employees making, but will also subscribe you to our newsletter so you don't have to rely on the algorithm. Once a day, you'll get an email, or once during Monday through Friday, you'll get an email that links to our social media posts, but also gives you 3 news stories we think you should be following, a mindfulness tip of the day, and just a legal tip. Hope everybody stays safe out there, and thank you everybody for your support.
Okay, federal employee friends, I'm back again with a new list of confirmed agencies who have either started to mass fire federal probationary employees or are in the process of getting ready to notify them. These have all been confirmed by individuals within those agencies. So let's start. It's a long list at this point. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the Department of Education, the Department of Energy, the Department of Defense, General Services Administration, Office of Personnel Management, Small Business Administration, U.S. Forest Service, Veterans Affairs, National Nuclear Security Administration, Housing and Urban Development, Center for Disease Control, National Park Service, National Institute of Health, Environmental Protection Agency, Bureau of Reclamation, Department of Interior, Bonneville Power Association, U.S. Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Land Management, Indian Health Services, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, Federal Emergency Management Agency, Federal Aviation Administration, Department of Transportation, Food and Drug Administration, Federal Mediation and Consolation Services, Federal Highway Administration, U.S. Geological Survey, Department of Government Efficiency Services, Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and National Science Foundation. That's the list I have. You'll have heard that some of the larger agencies, including the Department of Defense, I've been able to gain confirmation that they have put forth probationary employee lists and that the call will be coming to fire probationary employees from the Department of Defense. I got a lot of questions about that last time. I've been able to confirm that that's going to happen. I do not know when, I do not know how, but I've been assured that that is going to come in the future, sometime possibly this week or next week. That's all I have for now. I've provided you with everything that I have as of today, February 18th. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. If you've been affected by this, I'm sorry. I will try to do a rundown tonight or tomorrow on what your rights still are, what you can and can't do, and just overall try to be a little bit of reassurance for you. sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Hi everyone, please pardon my appearance as it is after 4 a.m. on Tuesday, February 18th, and I wanted to come on here as one of the thousands of federal employees who lost their job with the federal government this weekend. More specifically, I was removed from my position through an email from an unrecognized HR account from my agency around 1 p.m. on Saturday of this holiday weekend. No one within my chain of supervision was involved in this decision. I have gone through the entire range of emotions this past weekend. There is a lot of sadness in my heart. There is also a lot of anger. The firing of thousands of federal employees across the government is going to have detrimental impacts on regular people like yourself watching this video. My position with my healthcare agency was involved in Affordable Care Act health insurance marketplace policy and operations. And so I was one of the people regulating health insurers to make sure that they were not selling you junk insurance, making sure that they were covering all the benefits that they had to cover, charging you a fair amount of cost sharing, making sure that they weren't discriminating against you based on your health conditions or health status. And with fewer people like myself in the government, you can imagine the impact that that will have on the regulation of massive corporations. And I think that's part of the point of all of this. I have gone back and forth all weekend with what comes next for me. I was a dentist before moving to DC. I graduated from dental school and put my clinical career on pause in order to move here and try to make a difference. I wanted to make dental care more accessible and affordable for people, and I felt like I finally had that opportunity in this job that I was just let go of. One of the hardest parts of all of this is that I don't know if I've really made a difference. I'm really at a loss for direction right now in what I'm doing with my life, and I'm really not sure what comes next for me, but whatever it is, hoping to make the best of it, as we always do, and really appreciate all the love and support of people out there who recognize just how cruel this is. I'm sending love to all of my federal workers out there who are either hanging on to their jobs still or were just let go this weekend. I know the pain that you're feeling, and you know, the entire network has been so supportive, and I want to offer that same support to all of you. If there's any lessons to be drawn from this, it is that we do not need the richest people in the world controlling our government. Our government is supposed to be for the people, and the only purpose of all of this is not to decrease the federal deficit or decrease spending like they're claiming. We make up such a small portion of federal government spending. It's really to decrease regulation and allow businesses to go unregulated and take control of the economy. So I think we're in a really dark time, and it's going to take a lot of work for all of us to rebuild from this, but I am committed to doing that work in whatever role comes next, and I hope you all understand the gravity of this moment and do your own part to chip in. So I don't know what else to say, but for now, just wanted to share my story and send my love to anyone else going through this. All right.
If you do not have a job and you've been looking for a job and you're taking your time, you better find a job and find a job quick and hang on to it. Do not quit. Do not budge. Do not move. With this federal worker layoff that is taking place, it can highly affect our private sector. And what could possibly happen is the private sector won't be able to absorb those who were laid off. And then you have to understand there's already has been a shortage of jobs. It's hard for people to find jobs even now in this economy. The economy right now financially is, it's overwhelming for many Americans. We are all overwhelmed with the high prices of food, just the high prices of everything. I don't think we understand how much it will impact our economy. It's going to impact our financial institutions, even your mom and pop stores, because if there is a lack of people working and in the workforce, and there's people who are looking for jobs and can't get jobs, people will not be spending money like that. People will begin to start being more frugal. They'll start watching how they spend. They will start having tight pockets. And the way that we normally are used to spending out, those days are gone. That will no longer take place. I want to remind y'all of something that the Bible says. In the seals, there are the horsemen, and one of them is the third seal, and it is a representation of a black horse. And it says, "Then I heard what sounded like a voice among the four living creatures saying, a quart of wheat for a day's wages, and 3 quarts of barley for a day's wages, and do not damage the oil and the wine." I just want to let me just remind y'all, in the fourth seal, there is a pale horseman, which it represents famine, is one of the things, famines and plagues. We must remember what the Bible says concerning these times. I hope y'all catch what I'm saying and what I'm not saying. Besides this, we have to understand what else is being cut financially for a lot of families, for a lot of different people. Okay, so there are resources that moving forward will not be in place as well. I don't know what else to say without saying what I'm trying to say, because they be having stuff under review. My videos be under review so much. I will say this. There is a lot of layoffs that is happening. And financially, those people are used to a certain way of living, a certain financial way of living. And the impact that this will have over every sector of this world, every business. This is not a time to be spending your coins, okay? What you used to do, high and falutin, getting on planes. I have to preach tonight over I got to get on an airplane and go to Atlanta. All of that. I'm the psalmist. I'm the specialist. All of that, flying on planes and just doing random stuff. Go find you a job, and go find you a job now and keep it. That's what I want everybody to do. Keep your job, because what is getting ready to happen, it will impact so much of our economy. I have other things that I can say on that, but I can't. But all this highfalutin, buying shoes, buying your favorite bag, them nights, them days is over. Okay? That should not even be a thing. Save your coins. Get you some coins in your house. Just start throwing the little pennies in there. Save your coins. Because the way this is looking, we all finna be hungry, okay?
It's seriously lovely. It's so unfortunate that this is actually what people wanted. This is what majority has always wanted. And it's actually so unfortunate that each and every person, people will just wake up to, oh, what is going to happen today? What is going to happen? Who is going to be affected for today? Like, people are not living in fear. People are not living in what might, occur the next minute. Like, next minute you think that everything is okay, everything is getting better. The other minute you're crashing out, crying, and having emotional meltdown because one way or the other, whatsoever things that these folks are doing will affect you. Like, this is what people that looks like me have been trying to, like, the level of FA and FO that is going on, even the people that actually thought that they might not be affected, oh my goodness, you are just lying to yourself. Like, one way or the other, you are being affected with the said people that you actually felt that they are probably the one that's going to be affected with all of the things that is going on right now. Just imagine you waking up to losing your job. Just imagine that. Imagine all of your hopes, your career, like you have actually thought of what you're going to do with your life, and before you know it, all of a sudden you are getting a layoff. Look at, there has been a massive layoff. Over 200, workers losing their jobs. Because of what? Or because of the new administration and all of that. And there are so many people who still thought that this is actually right. Look at the way at which people are having emotional breakdown, crying, crashing out. Do you know what it means to actually lose where you are feeding from? Like, and the worst part is that this majority of people often thought that something like this might not affect them. They are the ones that is even being affected the most. Like, I think that people that have actually got it right already know what is coming. Then these people who often like, okay, they never thought that a day like this would come. I feel so sorry for every other person that lost his or her job. Like, and both the people that did the right thing and didn't do the right thing, everyone is being affected. Everyone is being affected. Good are those days where it is just some particular set of people that is being affected. Like the thing is that most of these people that is crashing out, they have never said anything. Like they have never maybe contributed or tried to like. They only begin to talk when they knew that the thing is now affected them personally. That is affecting them personally. This with the farmers and all of that. The farmers also have this. They are now speaking out, trying, having emotional breakdown because it's affecting them personally. Let's just assume that all of these are not affecting these people crashing out right now, or it's just probably affecting some particulars. Do you think that they will come out to cry and crash out? You know, this is one thing so many people do not understand. People are like, oh, okay, let's just give it a chance and all of that, without realizing that even if you feel that you did the right thing, the repercussion is going to get you affected. You feel that you were actually doing so. Like, how can you comfortably vote against your own interest? This man this is his second tenure, right? Why didn't you compare his first? Like, what happened during his first? And you knew exactly how it really affected a lot of people, both farmers. And now you as a farmer, you decided to vote for the second time as well, right? Thinking that he has changed or what? Like, seriously. And now look at these people crashing out, losing their jobs, mass layoff. Imagine waking up to an email that, oh my God, your job, your work or whatsoever has been terminated. Like, how would you feel? How would you really feel? Like, this is just so heartbreaking. Like, I don't like seeing people like this. But it's just so unfortunate that majority actually wanted this. Like, how could you even want this? How could you think things through? Because I actually read some of their commentaries. Most of the people I stitched that video, people were like, "Who did you vote for?" And a lot were actually finding out that they actually voted for the other, for Orange Man and all of that. And now they're crashing out. What do you think? You think he actually cares about anyone? Look at a mass layoff, but there have been a 30, $1 million contract being awarded to some super richest man in the whole world. But there is people that is actually, trying to survive. People that is managing have been laid off, and there is an awarded contract for the super richest person. Like, this should tell you guys one thing. This administration do not care about the layman. They do not care about the middle class. They do not even care about the poor people. All they care about is themselves. What do they care about? Like, they're just doing things like somebody should collect the pay from these people. They're just busy signing and making people crashing out and crying out. You know, this is what people that looks like me have been trying to say for the longest of all time. But oh my God, nobody really want to listen. Everybody were like, oh, we just have to do what we got to do. We just want to maintain a particular supremacy. Without even realizing that at the long run, you might actually be affected one way or the other. It might come in peace or in pieces. And this is exactly what is happening right now. Just look at the massive layoff, 200 plus. Like, how do you even want this people to begin? I know it's just so simple, like, oh, get another job, look for it. Like, do you know how it takes the patients, their applications upon application, interviews upon interviews, and they just have to start over again? Like, seriously? Anyway, lovelies, when I saw this, I thought I was just going to bring it up here for us to actually know what is happening. There has been a massive layoff. Over 200 people are losing at the verge of losing their job, and it's even counting. Anyways, why don't just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for education and informative purposes. So guys, why not just subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next Leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for education and informative purposes. So please subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.